tech issues. So I just wanted to say welcome all to the show. I know it's been a challenging morning for me. Let's just put it that way, because it's been crazy just because we've had some tech issues this morning on the platform, but don't be worried, because I am going to make sure that we actually have a great show planned here today. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the Momentum Tribe Mojo show. I just want to say thank you all for being here. All right. I am just gonna just start off by sharing our information. I just want to make sure that I have the right screen up, people. You know how that is, right? So I just want to make sure that I'm saying hello to everybody. So everybody, if you're brand new here, and I see a few people right here in the live cast room with us. So welcome, Damon. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Momentum Tribe Mojo show. All right, everybody. If this is your first time here and you're wondering, like, what is this show all about? Well, we're all about helping you create momentum. Who likes momentum? Whoop, whoop, right? The show, when I started the show, when I, came out with the idea of the show, and it actually came up from the tour that I did with a few people. And all we wanted to help other business owners, and especially overwhelmed business owners, is the fact that you got to create momentum. Right? Momentum is important. You have to build constant momentum to help you get from where you are today to where you want to be. And then it's all about taking the action. If you just have momentum and you don't have action, what good would it be, people? Because it would not be enough. You have to take action to make sure that you get results, right? So today I have a guest joining me, and I just want to make sure, my co-host can come on. But if she doesn't come on because she has some tech issues, we all know how that is, especially when you go live. You try your best, and with tech issues, like, oh my God, right? So today we have a guest. And before I bring her on to join us on camera, a couple things I want to share with everybody. Do you know that today is actually National Brown Bag Day? And that is the reason, not today, tomorrow is National Brown Bag Day. That actually gave me the idea. Maybe we should talk about saving money. Do y'all love saving money? So that's why I said, who can we bring on to talk about saving money? And I actually met this guest some time ago on Blab. So let me just share a little bit of her information, because I still see that Kim isn't here yet. So I'm just going to put up her information here. So today we're talking about cost-saving ideas for small business owners. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can put in your comments there. And if you're watching on Periscope, you can join us in the live cast room, which is momentumtribe.live. And you can have a conversation with me, my co-host, and my guest today. And you're looking at the screen right now is the information where you can go and join us, momentumtribe.live. And you can also watch it on facebook.com/zevzan.com. All right, everybody. Here's a little bit information about our guest. So time for our guest. Here we go. Sabrina Cadini. So Sabrina, I met her in one of the live streaming platform. It was called Blab, but right now it's all about Blab. Rest in peace, people. So she's a TV announcer turned event and wedding designer, and she loves colors, textiles, and details, avid volunteer for nonprofit organizations, passionate coach for wedding professionals, and grateful daughter, sister, wife, mother, cat lover. And you know what? She's also an awesome live streamer, and I know she does a lot of live streaming, and she coaches live streaming. She actually teaches live streaming education to wedding professionals. So let's bring her on, people. Let me bring her on. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you, girl?
I'm great. What a presentation. Oh my goodness. I should hire you.
Well, thank you. Right? All we can do is just, do our best, right? And that's what we all need to learn. We just bring our best every day. And, when technology fails us, like right now, I know probably Kim's like, I'm trying to get up, And, folks, I always tell everybody, don't sweat it if you can't come on. Maybe your live co-host can't come on because there's, challenges, or your guests. Don't worry about it. the reality of things is that technology can sometimes be gremlins for us, and then it can work for or against us. It's just a matter of showing up and just move forward, right, Sabrina?
Definitely. And I had the same technical difficulties this morning because you
I know,
remember I was
right?
messaging you. I was
And
like,
I was
I
like,
don't
what
know.
is up, everybody? Anyway, Sabrina,
I
just
know.
wanted to
We're
say
here.
welcome to the
Thank you.
show. It's important you and I are here on the show, right? I hope Kim will come on. But before we even get started, I was just telling everybody earlier, if you remember, I was talking about how we met, right? First, we met
Yes.
on Blab. I mean, you and I, we love live streaming, and we can't
Mhm.
deny that, Blab was one of the better platforms, but it
Mhm.
was said that, it went away. Rest in peace, Blab, right? But anyways, you are actually now doing more broadcasts on Periscope. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
A
tell
lot
us
on
a little bit
Periscope.
more about you in addition to what we actually have shown our audience on screen, just to get
Yes.
our audience familiarized with you and what you do.
Absolutely. So as you were saying, yes, I was working at a TV station back in the days. It was the 80s, so it was a long, long time ago. And there I met one of the TV producers who one day asked me to help her with an event that she was hosting at her house. And so I
Mm-hmm.
said, yeah, why not? Definitely. I loved it because I loved to see the vision come to life. And that's exactly when I started with event planning. I really, really fell in love with the ability to create an experience for my guests, for my clients. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's how I started. And a couple of years ago, I expanded my services to business coaching because I really, really love to teach younger planners, younger wedding professionals on how to have a profitable business, because some of them are not able to do that. They're very creative, but they don't really know the business side of the business.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I decided to expand. And now I am using live streaming mostly to teach other wedding professionals. As you were saying, Periscope is my go-to resource. I started broadcasting. Let's see, I downloaded the app in April 2015. I had no idea on how to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was talking about it at the time. And then in June 20th, I will never remember, I did my first awful, pathetic broadcast, but I did it.
We all have to go through it, right? Because
Oh my
usually I
goodness.
tell my new clients, you have to fail 10 times
I
on your
know.
broadcast first, your live broadcast, and
Yes.
then you can get better, right? Because if you don't
Absolutely.
practice and you don't do it often enough, you will never
Yeah,
learn, right?
definitely. But
So,
I was
so
so proud of myself.
yay,
Yeah.
pat in the back. So
Yeah.
everybody, if you're watching on Facebook, make sure you drop your comments. And I see Catherine's in the house. Hey, Catherine, good to see you, girl. Long time no see. And thank you for rolling with us. Catherine and Damon, thank you for being here in the Momentum Tribe live room. So we're talking about this topic today, Sabrina, talking about, cost saving ideas for small business owners. Just a quick shout out for all of you out there. What we're going to do today, and just kind of three things we're going through. So the first thing, just a little bit of conversation about cost saving ideas for small business owners, and then just talking to Sabrina here about her business. And at the end of the show, we actually I would love to actually share some announcement for the Momentum Tribe. So we'll talk about that later in the show, because we have a little promotion for all of you out there. You all love that, right? Yay. So Sabrina, let me ask you this, right? With the topic that we have today, this is kind of
Yes.
important. We're all small business owners.
Mhm.
And here's the thing. Oh, I see Kim in the house, and I'm gonna see if she can come on right now. So here's a question for you. What is probably the most common money mistake small business owners in your industry make? Because, not only to say small business owners, but what's a common mistake that people in your industry make as business owners?
Yeah, I see two main common mistakes that wedding professionals make. One is underpricing, which I think it happens in pretty much a lot of industries, not only mine. But since there's a lot of competition in our industry, everybody
Right.
wants to get the client, to get the job, and maybe they're new in the business. They want to start creating their portfolio, so they need to have clients. Welcome! What a great surprise!
Welcome back, girl.
Yeah, oh, I'm so glad. So as I was saying, so underpricing is definitely one of the most common problems. And that's one of the reasons why clients come to me and tell me, please help me understand why I cannot be profitable, because I'm not charging enough, basically. And so many new business owners, again, think that by charging low, they can get the client and be a profitable business. But it's not the case, because setting the bar lower when it comes to pricing, clients will expect to spend that much the next time. So every time you work with a client is asking for a lower price, and it will be lower and lower and lower. So they're ruining their reputation because they're considered cheap professionals, and they lower the bar in the industry, because all of us should then lower the prices in order to the client. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, it's just a vicious circle, basically. And that's what I always tell my clients. You have a value. You are worth it. You know, so you have to make sure that you consider.
We all work hard to make our clients happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. Yeah. So you have to make sure that you charge what it's worth, and you also need to keep in mind fixed costs that a lot of people don't consider: insurance, marketing, advertising. If you have an office, you're paying rent, so you need to keep that in mind, because otherwise you will go out of business in a year, maybe less. I don't know.
Oh, I love that. And I think because if we don't honor our pricing, right, we will get burned out, because in our heads, we're always servicing and we're always stepping up, right? And we're always bringing our A game. But then we don't remember about the pricing, which is not, it doesn't make sense.
Definitely. Yes.
Hear you. Do we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes!
Can you hear me?
Oh my God, I'm so happy.
I can hear you. That's how this all started. I couldn't hear you, and then my computer decided to be possessed.
Kim Kasparian's in the house. The genie's in the house, people. Well, Kim Kasparian, meet Sabrina. Sabrina, meet Kim Kasparian. The genie in the house. So I'm going to just jump into this, Kim, because I had this question lined up.
The trade. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you this kind of similar question. You're a business coach. You've been in practice for a long time, and you see this common mistake
a long time,
also, right?
Yeah,
so let me ask you this similar question. What is the number one money mistake that you see small business owners make, especially, working with, small business owners for so long?
They don't change their mindset before they start the business. Yeah. They think me, myself, and I, and they don't think me, myself, and I, and the business. Mm-hmm. So just to piggyback what Sabrina was saying, it's not everyone does it. I did it. It's natural, and you just have to, you do it. And then you realize, okay, yeah, thanks for sharing. Mm-hmm. When you're thinking about growing your business, you're really only thinking about what you need. Okay. I need to make $10,000 a month, or I need to make $5,000 a month, or I need to make $150,000 a year, because that's what it takes to, run my house. And then they go, okay, well, how many clients? And that's how you get into the cycle of charging too little, right? And number one, when you step out on your own, you tend to diminish your value, and you just want to get clients. Everything Sabrina said is absolutely true. Mm-hmm. And you think about, you see the world through your filter of your self-esteem versus the value of what you're providing for the client and the perceived value and benefit of that service or product. So I just had a new client. She's in the service. She works she does things with the wedding, with the baby. She does memories. She creates memory videos and stuff. Mm-hmm. And she did it because she had a passion, and she started because she wanted a friend to have a something special. And then she was, well, let me make a business out of it. But she never really thought about having a business. She just wanted to do something she loved and make people happy. And she did. But a year later, she did her numbers and saw the red and had a meltdown and was like beating herself up. I'm like, you did what you wanted. You gave incredible joy. You did a beautiful thing. You just never really understood what profit was and went for that. And, same conversation. Well, I don't think I can charge that much. I'm like, why not? Because she's confused of where her self-esteem is at versus the value, which is high, right? Mm-hmm. A memory. She does like from the year of your life, and like, how much people, how many people spend on first number one birthday? Like, when I pay for my wedding. Right? So
I'm sure Sabrina knows and sees that.
Right. And I'm like, she wanted to charge him like, was it $300 a lot? I'm like, are you kidding me? The cake alone is worth, that they're going to taste and never see again. So we had this whole conversation about value, and then you get resentful because it takes a lot of time. And by the time we figured it out, I'm like, sure, you can charge $300 and you're working for $2. What do you mean? Overhead, software, this, Uncle Sam. If you live in the States, it's Uncle Sam. I don't know what it is, Uncle in your country, and I said, so you think 3 is a lot of money, but you start cutting that pie, there's not a lot left. And when she thought of it that way, she was like, oh, so
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
So the mistake is you don't think about what your product or service costs to produce. You just think about your pocketbook, and that's why you broke.
Yeah, exactly.
I love how she says, your pocketbook. That's why you broke. I love that Kim always real and raw. She gives it to us all, like no kidding, right?
Right.
So
the good news is you can fit. The good news, if you did it, you did it. I've done it. We all do it. We'll probably do it again a couple times before we stop doing it. And it's okay.
That's toe tapping info right there. I love that. So Terry Johnson, who's actually watching on Facebook, she says she has to show the value, and then the customer will buy into her prices. She can charge way more than $300. And I love what Terry said.
And I will tell her that all the Momentum Tribe said, and she did. She's already shifted, and now. But again, this is why we have the Momentum Tribe. Right. This is why you have mentoring groups. This is why, we have coaches like myself and Zeph and Sabrina, because, if I was left to my own devices, I'd still be back where I was. So, this is why we're all here.
Absolutely. And I love that, the fact that sometimes we don't think this through very well. The fact that there are many little things that we can do, baby steps. We're not asking you to make a boat tomorrow. We're asking you to make little baby steps, right? And some of the things I think many of us don't think about is really like, how can we start small? Because we're always thinking big. Oh, I got to go big and I got to make a boat tomorrow, and I have to deliver it tomorrow. So one of the things I want to share today is really simple cost-saving ideas. And I want to show this on our screen so that we can share this out with everybody out there. And I would love you ladies to weigh in and let's have a conversation about this. So today I thought I'll share some 5 cost-saving ideas for small business owners, and then we all can weigh in. I mean, we don't have to take too much time, but just these are the 5 things I think that are important and people can really start small. Number 1, I thought, for my business, I know this applies to me, people, is go paperless. Whoop, whoop, right? Go paperless. And one idea is the reason I like to go paperless is think about this, right? You don't have to order, I'm not saying no to paper. I'm just saying certain things you can have the option of going paperless. The option of, offering, electronic invoices and payment options. Because imagine if we have to have the printed invoices, you have to order them. That's money. And then some people just throw it away, right? So that's number 1. And then I'll have the ladies weigh this in after I do all the 5. And then number 2 is tools usage. I think it's very important because sometimes last week, me and Kenya talk about marketing tools, right? And we talk about sometimes I feel like many of us hoard our marketing tools, right, ladies? Because we buy, we purchase, and we don't review the usage. I think it's important for us to take a review yearly to match our business goals and needs to the tools that we use. Because otherwise we'll be like, oh my God, how much are we spending? $29.
It'll be like our closet. We have a bunch of shoes we can't wear.
Exactly.
They look good. They were on sale.
Yes, exactly. And then I think that we just need to review whether it's quarterly, semi-annually or yearly. Review it, because sometimes you buy all these tools and you realize, oh, I don't use them anymore. Number 3, I think it's important to have partners. Find partners that you can grow with, meaning, you collaborate. Maybe sometimes you can trade something like, some mentoring sessions, partners that you can grow with, not partners that will just rob you from your, from your time and energy.
But you don't want people that suck your
right. No, suck your life out of it, right? And then number 4, I think freelancers and interns. Freelancers is the fact that, maybe you don't have that huge budget to hire an agency. You can do that within your circle of network. And of course, interns, you can have them do the non-core work, basically stuff that you don't want to do, but it's really simple admin stuff or really simple virtual assistant stuff. That's number 4. And number 5, I think this is so underrated and not used a lot. Yes. Is live video and teleconferencing. Tremendous cost cutting. Remember, if you have to go, I love like summits and live videos because sometimes I don't have to wake up and shower just because I'm running late. And then I'm like, okay, just smarten up, brush my hair
from the neck up,
and show up, right? So let me ask you this, Sabrina. Which of the 5 do you think that you like the most or relates to your business right now? So we have live video and teleconference, freelance and interns, partners, tools usage, and go paperless.
So go paperless, I don't know if you saw me, I was like, yay, I love that, because it's definitely my first thing that I use in order to save money, and not only money, but also time, because you were mentioning like electronic agreements, invoicing, you don't have to mail them, you just send them via email and it's done. So you save money and time, absolutely. And also the teleconference feature, I use it a lot for virtual meetings.
Yes.
Instead of driving around town, I can just meet with clients, or I volunteer for a lot of nonprofit organizations, and they always have committee meetings.
Right.
So if I can avoid driving and just meet from my house, basically via video conference, that's perfect. And I know, right? More people.
Because sometimes I think as business owners, we don't think of how much we need to be careful with our time, because sometimes it's just a phone call, but these days the video call makes it a little bit more real because you feel like you're in the room with a person. So I'm just reading some comments here that we have on Facebook, and Terry Johnson's, she's saying collabs are so much fun with the right person. Absolutely, very important with that. And Carlos is saying like Evernote, of course. Carlos, you're the
I know Evernote. Yeah, I'm ready. It's like big fat Greek wedding. Okay, put Vicks on it. Vicks. Okay, Evernote fix that.
Kim, what was your probably the most out of this 5 cost saving ideas, which one kind of relates to you most?
Well, they all do. I would say if you look at these and say when possible, where possible.
Yes.
Freelancers. I want to go back to freelancers and okay. Here's the biggest one. Number 1, I got to correct you, Zeph. Interns are not your grunts. Interns come to learn what you know. Mm-hmm. So if you use them as grunts, that's a breach of the intern agreement.
Right.
But they're not you. You don't put them on your center stage.
Correct.
So you give them projects that they can learn from or learn whatever they're trying to learn from you, but they can add their value. Like a lot of the young kids are much better with social media than me. So I will give them parameters and say, listen, you can be as creative as you want within this, but I need to see it. And they're like more knowledgeable. So that saves you time.
Yes.
And but this is the thing I want to say to you guys.
Yep.
You need to think rich. I love saving money. I'm a coupon queen. I go to Best Buy and I'll walk out with $1,000 for $100. My husband goes, how do you do that? I'm like, I go shopping and I'm like, ooh, I break out into sweat. Like I save money. But here's the thing. You don't want to think cheap.
Right.
And you don't want to think broke. People go for interns because they think I don't have the money. No, you use interns because it's smart and it's leverage. Yeah. So think, instead of saving, think of investing, smart investing.
Right.
If you can do it for less, great. Mm-hmm. And, and the other thing is, so I want you to guys look at it where possible, where applicable. I love video conferencing, but we're in a technical world and people are learning this the hard way. There is nothing like being in front of a person, having the energy flow.
Right.
So a lot of us are computer people. Right. I can tell you when I'm in even this computer too much, I start losing the connection to my peeps. Mm-hmm. I go outside, I have 1 cup of coffee, I feel connected again. So there's got to be a balance.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yes, balance.
Yeah. And that's why I was just
talking. But I love Thumbs up for all five. All five are right on target.
Right. So I was just talking about yesterday about, working, the challenges of working, in solitude right here online. Of course, the next best thing to be with you ladies is in this room right here, right? Because I can't possibly probably, oh my God, I have to run to Sabrina in California now. Like, hello.
Yeah.
But the thing is this, where I was going to go with this, talking about, saving money with teleconferencing and live videos. It makes it real, number one. Number two, when you meet those people you meet online, the hugs are so much better. It is so much bigger. Definitely. I'm not saying that, you shouldn't. I think down the line, the goal is always to meet that person that you met online. That's the goal, right?
It's a tool. And I think that's what entrepreneurs, because either they're doing it because they're in lack, they're trying to save money, right? Or you're trying to, there is no shortcuts. Mm-hmm. And some people hide behind video. I love video. It's opened up a whole new world to me. It's connected me. It's gotten me more connected to a bigger audience. But if you're using it due to lack or insecurity, right? Well, I don't feel comfortable in front of people. Then you're perverting. You're perverting the tool. Right. So once you have all the skills and you can do anything. Right. And like I said, I want to talk to Sabrina and I really can't fly 5 hours because I have a half an hour meeting. Mm-hmm. So use it to your advantage. It's just not a substitute for essential skill sets. That's all.
Very true. I agree. Absolutely. I agree. Yeah. Exactly. It should not replace. I have a lot of destination couples who live in different parts of the United States. So that's a big saver for me because instead of having them fly them here, we can meet there. And as I was saying, committee meetings every single month. Right.
That's totally, Sabrina, you're using it as a productivity tool.
Oh my gosh, yes. Correct.
Yes. I know. I when I hear meetings, I break out into hives because most people do not know how to run a productive meeting. It's like, correct. Really? That's my meeting. So if you use it as a productivity tool, you got 2 thumbs up for me. It's helping me connect, get my business national, and it's extending my reach. And I wish that for everybody. Yeah. But I'm watching a lot of young people because they didn't grow up with the face-to-face, learning to communication person. They've lived on the text. Right. They're using it, and you guys, it's a conversation happening in the corporate. They don't know how to have interpersonal communication skills. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know how to do that, I'm sorry, there's no piece of technology that can make up for that. It's when you have the skills that you can use this technology as an amplifier.
Yes, exactly.
Totally. So that's my point.
All right. Here's the thing, right? And I'm going to read Catherine. She's saying right here. I love her comments right there. She's saying growing up success is a lot like playing mother. I think she wanted to say Mother Mary. Sometimes the steps are giant leaps and sometimes they are teeny tiny shuffles. As long as the momentum is forward, then things are good. Girl, you're good. And she says balance and coffee. Coffee is important, she says. And then she says, she's just quoting Kim. She's saying, don't pervert the tools. I love that. Awesome. Last question before we go, ladies. Sabrina, what cost-saving ideas do you have for our viewers out there who are small business owners, especially if they're tying the knot? Because you're in the wedding industry, right? And you see new business owners tying the knot. Any tips for them? Cost-saving idea tips for them for maybe their wedding, probably?
That brings me back a fun story about a couple that I helped get married probably about 10 years ago. It was a long time ago. So they were working for 2 different companies. They were working full time, and each company had probably about 150, 200 employees. So it was a large, pretty good sized company. And they decided to do a wedding fund. At the time, wedding funds were not very popular. So they brought large jars at the office and they were encouraging colleagues to chip in, basically. Awesome. It was, I would say, pretty tacky at the time, but they raised almost $10,000.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was a lot of money. So probably it was, I would say, between $20, $40 per person who helped them. And they basically paid the band and most of the rentals at the wedding. And they also had like a contest. So the person who donated the most of the money was invited to the wedding.
Wow. You know
So
what? I kind of like that tip because you know why? I know sometimes us,
crazy.
I think this is what Kim talks a lot about mindset, right? Because us as society, when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's techie. But the
Yeah,
story behind the truth. The truth
They
is the fact
asked.
that
They
we
put it
are,
out there. They,
yeah, we're encouraging
you know what?
and
They didn't make
teaching each
anyone. They
other.
didn't make anyone give it to them. But good. I don't know if I could have done that, but good for them.
They
They
asked.
asked. They asked.
I think it was so funny because talking about how we perceive things, mindset. I just watched this movie yesterday, and I love. I didn't know how I was going to take it. I don't know if you've watched this movie. It's called Arrival. Amy Adams was in there with Jeremy
no, I don't
Renner. It's
think
about the aliens arriving in the
Okay,
world, and then the immediate perception is they're hostile, right? But what they didn't know was they're trying to offer them tools to the humankind, tools, weapon tools.
Bro,
They
yeah.
call weapon, but actually it's a mindset tool that teaches humanity to be kind to each other and to use the tools that we have right now to kind of create world peace. And now that you're talking about this, it's just I think about perception and mindset, how we all can help each other, because we're all about momentum and creating action. Sometimes we see things one way, but that's why we need a tribe like this to kind of tell us, hey, maybe you look at it this one way, but we have done some other way. So when we're sharing this with you, take what you like, leave what you don't like, come back next week.
That's right.
absolutely,
So-
absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah.
And they can also use a credit card exclusively for their wedding expenses. And
Right.
it has different benefits because, first of all, they can really keep everything on track. And people think that by having a credit card, then they will be hit with like fees and interest rates. But they should have that money anyway. They have a budget. They should have that money. So if they are able to pay the balance off every month, they don't have any rates, they don't have any fees.
Very
And
smart.
that gives them the ability to get cashback rewards and also points for flights, maybe their honeymoon. Some cards offer like insurance for travel. So again, they can check with their bank or their different credit cards and find out which one is the best for them. So I always suggest them to have a credit card separately for just their wedding expenses.
Catherine just dropped in a comment there. She says credit cards used with money in the bank is a great way of earning bonuses.
Yeah, frequent flyer miles for
Definitely.
the honeymoon.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you, Catherine, for that. I just want to say thank you to all of you who's watching the show or will be watching on replay, right? So just to share some information, we're always here Wednesdays, 11:30 a.m. Eastern and 8:30 a.m. LA time, which is Pacific time, and 4:30 p.m. UK time. But you know what? Right now, I just want to share some information, as I promised all of you earlier, a little bit about the Momentum Tribe and what we're going to do and what's going to be happening. So one of the things that we're going to do is really creating some sort of premium membership. So here's something that we talked about, and people often ask me, how can we create live streaming community that matters? One of the big things I learned from having a live streaming community is the fact that how do we grow together, right? How do we sustain the momentum? How do we take action and grow together? So one of the things that we're going to do moving forward is, if you are in Crowdcast, you actually will see a green button at the bottom of this black screen, and it says there, get free Momentum Tribe premium membership now. And we're just offering the free membership if you register by July 1st. All right. So you can go to this website right here, free membership, premium membership, limited time. If you register by July 1st, you can just go to this link, and I will drop it in our Facebook, in our comment section right here in Crowdcast. If you're wondering, like, why would I be in your community? Here's one of the things. One of the things with live streaming, and I teach this to my clients, and actually Sabrina can weigh in on this conversation, and I learned this from Kim. Hello, I got the genie right here in the team. Whoop, whoop. We're growing together, right? So one of the things, in the live streaming community, we can only show up as much as we can. And we're trying to scale. How can this matter to us? So what we thought was, having a community that wants more, because sometimes you want more, but I can only show up for you for a certain time of the day. We're talking about cost saving ideas here, people. Hello, right? So we want to offer more to you, but we want it to be in a community that wants more. Because if we're giving more, we want to make sure we're serving you right, serving the right people. Just like Terry was talking earlier, she agrees, collaboration with the right people, it will be good. The community will have, more live shows where we'll have office hours, like Kim will have her Ask Kim, and you can talk to her during her office hours, or as Zaf talking about live video marketing. You can have that. And part of it will have featured experts who will bring in their program into the system. And guys, many more. Just try it out, register, because it's free right now till July 1st. And after that, when we launch it August, boom, people, you just have to bet. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's hanging out with us here today, whether you're on Facebook or you're here in Crowdcast or on Periscope. And thank you to my co-host, Kim Gasparian. I'm glad she got rid of that genie tech, the gremlin tech in her
computer today. I banished the gremlins. I banished
boom. She goes like, no more. And then I, of course, want to thank you, Sabrina Cadini, for being here with us today, for sharing your, cost-saving ideas for small business owners. In fact, sharing your own story, because I think they're all precious. Woo, woo. And Catherine says, I signed up. Yay. Go, girl.
Awesome. Good job.
Awesome. You rock. This is what I like. Create momentum, build the action, and take that action. All right, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode of the Momentum Tribe Mojo Show, Wednesdays, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. I'm like, where's my screen? 8:30 a.m. Pacific and 4:30 p.m. UK time. Until then, have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.